Welcome to the Windows and Computer channel, and this is the Tech News Update. We are Wednesday, December 19th, 2018, and today in our Tech News Update, we have Huawei that has demanded proof from the US and other countries that are starting to ban its technology, and they claim that, of course, there's a security risk to having Huawei and all of that. And of course, Huawei now wants to have the proof and see where and what is exactly the problem in security with its company, as more and more countries are actually banning the use of Huawei technology. One of the things that a lot of people don't know is that Huawei is not just a smartphone maker, but it is also a major player in the technologies like 5G around the world. Well, something interesting might be coming to 19H1 of Windows 10, the next version of Windows. It would seem that Windows Sandbox would actually get into this insider preview, or the next version of Windows 10. It would let you run potentially bad software. You could actually, if you download that exe or executable file and you're not really sure if it's a good one, you would be able to actually run it in a sandbox mode. Of course, preventing any problems from like virus infections and malware and so on, because it is in its own little box. So this is a cool feature, I think, and that's going to be interesting to see if at some point, or when at some point, it will actually appear within our insider previews. The Nintendo Switch console, fastest selling console of its time. Nintendo has said that yesterday. What does that mean? That means for the same amount of time, so the Nintendo Switch is not even 2 years old yet, in the same amount of time, it sold more Nintendo Switch than PlayStation 4 or Xbox consoles that sold for the same period of time. So it's the best-selling console of its time, and of course it is a very popular device, and of course Nintendo is really surfing on this right now. Spam calls, of course, one of the major problems. I get some quite regularly. Lately I've been getting some in Chinese, which is kind of weird. So a report from Truecaller says that spam calls have jumped 300% in 2018, with 1 in 4 calls being unwanted calls from scammers to, anything from trying to sell you stuff. The worst part is that 10% of users lost money over spam calls in 2018, and that is on average $357 per person. Facebook is once again in hot water. It seems that it just doesn't stop. Well, the New York Times says that it interviewed former Facebook employees, and it learns that Facebook gave unrestricted access to user data, including private messages, to Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Netflix, dragging the tech giants into this social media turmoil. This, of course, is totally unacceptable. Bitcoin scammers are using Facebook to create pages that make you think that they are legitimate businesses. So they'll, set up a page that looks like a official page from a well-known company, and then they'll try to scam you into stealing bitcoins by offering you fake business opportunities. And it seems that it's actually working, but of course Facebook is trying to remove these pages as fast as they pop up, but the scam is there. Google Chrome will soon have a better way of dealing with websites that try to prevent you from closing a window or using the back button. Back button hijack is often a problem with websites. Some malicious websites try to actually have ways to prevent you from either closing your browser or, just, of course, using the back button. Well, the next version of the browser, apparently this is going to be fixed, and you will not be a prisoner of fake pages. The Google Play Store, apparently in the past week, Google have removed thousands of bad apps, but not just that. It actually removed several million fake reviews. And the reason why, of course, reviews are often what makes a difference between you choosing an app over another, and fake reviews are often used to try to boost the popularity of an app. And so they are really working in removing all of this. According to a report from McAfee, malware targeting Internet of Things devices has grown 72% in the third quarter of this year alone. And not just that, 203% just in the last year. And it's accelerating, and more devices are unpatched. And actually, it will take a toll, according to that report, on the internet at some point. So, these IoT devices, they need to be as updated as possible to make sure that they can't be used to do bad things. OneDrive on the web will get a big refresh soon. It seems that it will not only add new features, it will also add fluent design on the online version. And of course, there will be new features like, for example, you'll know the files that you access the most often in the past few months, recommended files based on what you actually do and what files you open, recent documents, and a lot more. Apparently, it's going to be much more interesting to use. And finally, a study says that the overall Twitter environment is toxic. And for people that are popular, it's even worse. But also, it says that the toxicity is worse for women than it is for men, as they compare trolling and bad use of the accounts by others. And it seems that women are targeted much more often by, all sorts of toxic comments and problems. So, we know Twitter has a big problem, and I don't know. I don't think it's going to go away tomorrow. And this was the Tech News Update for Wednesday, December 19th, 2018. You enjoy our videos? Please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.